With the first pick,
what's going on today? I'm used to saying what's going on, Breaker Nation, but this is not Breaker Nation. This is the USFL Draft show. First episode. First of all, I hope y'all like that intro. That one took me a while, but it was fun, and I liked it. That one made me excited. I really like that one. This episode will be nothing crazy. It's just kind of a first episode. Get to know, understand the show a little bit. First thing, I think is kind of like a why, why the show, or it's kind of a why/what, or the who, what, where, when, why, that whole thingy. It's kind of just like why are you doing this and what's this and blah blah blah. So, I really have always loved draft stuff, especially with the NFL. I've always loved mock drafts. I've always loved draft season. I've always loved, just kind of looking at players and, seeing where maybe this guy could go, where this guy could go, and things of that nature. It's just always been something I've really enjoyed. And a lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people love draft stuff, and not just NFL, but NBA draft stuff and MLB draft stuff and NHL draft stuff. Like, a lot of people really love that stuff. They love mock drafts and stuff like that. So what I wanted to do was do a USFL draft show where I could do mock drafts. I could talk about the actual draft, when it's upcoming. I could talk about potential players that could be in the league or in the draft, I guess. And also just kind of have guys on who really know college football. It's at the same time, it's also kind of a show where I can talk about college football a little bit as well, smaller school guys, and maybe taking a look at certain guys and what they've done so far throughout a college football season, and where this guy could maybe get USFL looks. So I just thought it would be fun to do something like this. So I was just like, you know what, let's do it. So yeah, I'm super excited about this, and I want to get some fun content out for you guys. So yeah, now I'm going to take a second to kind of explain the USFL draft a little bit to people, because it's a little confusing. It was a little confusing to me at first too, but now that we've had a draft, we kind of understand the process of it now. We understand the ins and outs, but for those of you that don't, so the USFL has a college rights draft. Now, it's not technically your traditional draft where, in the NFL, if Bryce Young gets drafted by the Carolina Panthers, he's going to the Panthers. Like, that's just how it goes. Where a rights draft is more of, we'll draft Bryce Young, and if he's ever a free agent, like, say the Stars were like, hey, or Houston, maybe Houston would have the first pick and they'd be like, hey, we're drafting, I don't know, Bryce Young. Obviously that probably wouldn't happen, but let's just say they were like, hey, we're drafting Bryce Young's rights. And if he's ever a free agent and he wants to come play in the USFL, he has to play for us. So it's an opportunity for them to kind of look ahead in the future a little bit. Where, you can take guys that may not play right away. These guys, like, the draft is in February, and a lot of these guys that they draft are still going through the NFL draft process and the combines and pro days and, all that jazz. But, you kind of get to a point after that where everybody doesn't get that NFL opportunity. So some of these guys sign on to rosters right away. I know the Houston Gamblers had a guy from Oklahoma. He's a defensive tackle. I think his name's Jeffrey Johnson. I'm not 100% sure, but he was a defensive tackle. He didn't get the NFL opportunity that he wanted, so he got an opportunity to come play with the Gamblers. So they drafted his rights, but they didn't have to wait super long to get him. And we saw that kind of sprinkle in a little bit throughout the league. But there's also guys like, the Breakers, right? We drafted a guy like Tyler Scott. We drafted his rights, and he ends up going to the Bears, I believe, in like the 5th or 6th round. That's a guy that's probably not going to be in the USFL for another couple of years, if at all. But if he does come, he's talented, and that's a guy where you're like, hey, we have his rights. So if he ever does come, we know he has to come play for us. So, but it's a 10-round draft, and it's kind of it's a little bit traditional in the sense that the team with the worst record gets the first pick, and the team that won the championship gets the last pick, and it kind of stays like that throughout the entire draft. So, um, like this year, um, I'm looking at this USFL box set thing, but the Generals had the worst record, so the Generals would have the first pick, and the Stars would have the second pick, and I believe Houston would have 3 again, or 4. Houston and Memphis either have 3 or 4. It's one of the two. And then after that, it's Michigan at 5, New Orleans at 6, Pittsburgh at 7, and Birmingham at 8. So when the draft rolls around, New Jersey will have the first pick, and they'll draft whoever's rights they want. So that's kind of how it goes. I know for some people it's not as flashy or as fun, and I understand that, but it's hard to get a group of guys that, because the NFL, they get the cream of the crop. It is what it is. They get the Caleb Williams, the Drake Mays, the Marvin Harrison Juniors. They're going to get those guys. So for the USFL, it's not as easy to just have a crop of guys where you're like, all right, these are our draft picks, and if you draft them, they're on your team. They're just not there yet. So this is the next best, alternative to that for them. And I still enjoy it because it still gives an opportunity down the line for some exciting players to end up joining, because you never know. I mean, a guy could get an NFL opportunity and get cut, and the next thing you know, he's on your team. So yeah, I think it's going to be fun to talk about, and like I said, this will also be kind of an opportunity for me to talk a little bit of college football stuff too, because I really enjoy college football. It's grown a lot on me the last couple of years. As you see, I got the little college football background with all like logos and stuff. So this episode wasn't going to be super long. I just wanted to kind of explain the USFL draft and explain why I'm doing this and what you can kind of expect. So, and if I think at some point maybe I'll try to get some fan mock drafts. So if you guys want to send me kind of a realistic mock draft, nothing crazy. You don't have like Drake May on there or something, but if you guys want to send me some realistic mock drafts, I'll just do an episode where I read through your guys' mock drafts. I think that would be super fun. So, there's all kinds of things that I can do with this. So whatever ideas that you guys have for this show, drop it down in the comments or DM me on, Twitter or well, X, whatever you want to call it. Or Instagram or just wherever. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys for this first iteration of the USFL Draft Show. I hope you guys are excited as I am, because I think this is going to be so much fun, and it can go so many directions, and I'm all for it. So, yeah, until next time, guys, I appreciate you watching. Enjoy your day, enjoy your week, weekend, whenever time you're watching this. Until next time, it's your boy Lowe. I'm out of here.